Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. The journey continues today on December 21st, 2021 at approximately 5:24 a.m. PST. Apparently, my mouth is not working well today, hence the stumbling over the words, but understanding this is a live recording, meaning when I get done, I double check the date and then post it as is. You ever run into me personally, you'll find I talk the same way. I'll trip over my own words, etc., etc. I could go on, not much point. However, on the plus side, at least things are moving in the right direction. Got up this morning. Now, here's the first challenge. We're going to turn your energy around, and we're going to start right now, right here. Okay, and the way we do that is we take a look at a few things. First and foremost, we maximize the positive, we minimize the negative. Okay. Now the biggest challenge in the world for anybody to beat is your own stubborn streak or your own procrastinative capacities. Now, I'm a good one for it. I used to do it all the time. Okay. Now there's no thing. I used to procrastinate, now I just don't care. That's not entirely correct in my case. I do care a lot about it. So, a lot of the information I've got, I actually put in books that you can attain through me, so you've got it right there. The first one I'm going to start looking at, I can find the thing. Nope, not that one. That's one of the first I wrote, but I'll get to that later. Anyway, that being said, the first one I wrote that I put to print, or one of anyway, was this one here. Believe in yourself and follow your dreams. Now, this particular book talks about how to get yourself started. Where do you start to move your energy in the right direction? The first challenge anybody has. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you are. Okay, no matter the differentiators, the biggest challenge you've got is getting your day started. Now, I found a couple of things that work really well. This little thing called a list. Okay, I don't expect you to read it. You'll just have to take my word for it, as it were. Well, no, you really don't. But if you take a look at it, okay, there's writing on it. This list applies to tasks that are 15 minutes to half an hour in length. Okay, and the reason for that is by starting off with a list with 3 things on it. Okay, and those 3 things are whatever you choose. You start right here, right now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and you think to yourself, first and foremost, what am I not content with? Now, I did just say minimize the negative. So that's what we're doing. You just identify them. Doesn't matter what it is. You take the first 3 and you put them on the list. Okay, keep them to 15-minute to half-hour tasks. That way, you can get them racked off, and it does look and feel actually, and you've got the quantitative proof that you did get something done today. Okay, that you start off right away. But when you first wake up in the morning, give your eyes long enough to focus so you can actually see, because I've done it before, and I'm sure you have, where you got up and you got out of bed before you could even see straight. Okay, wake up, roll out of bed, go and do what you gotta do in the washroom, go back and make your bed. Okay, now, once you've done that, okay, you've got your day started. You've already overcome the most annoying task of the day, getting started. You don't have to believe this works. Okay, but if you haven't been able to get your life going in the direction you desire it to, these are the same tools I personally use. Now, with that in mind, you get your bed done. Then, if you've got an exercise routine in the morning, and I really strongly suggest that you do that. And no, I'm not going to start teaching you exercises, okay? I've got my own little routine. It takes me all of about 5 minutes. But it gets my heart going, it gets my muscles moving. Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to show you it. All I personally do is I start off by laying on my back on my bed, and yes, I've already made the bed. Okay, so I get up and I simply kick my legs up as high as I can get them, one at a time, for a total, in other words, 15 minutes a leg, a total of 30 legs. Then I stand up, then I get up, turn my seat, and turn around on the bed, lay down sideways across it, and raise my arms up, a total of 15 times. Stand up, touch my toes 15 times. Now, when I started trying to touch my toes, I couldn't actually even reach my knees. Okay, I now can touch the floor. Now, that may not seem like much to you, but I'll tell you, given the shape my body was in, as in 246 pounds and no mobility at all, being able to touch the floor is a big thing for me. Then I do 15 push ups. Okay, then while I'm doing my teeth, I stand there and I tighten my stomach, as in isometrics, pull my stomach in tight 30 times while I'm doing my teeth. Okay, I put my hand on the floor for balance, or on the counter for balance, while I raise myself up on my toes, well, more to the point, on the balls of my feet, as in just exercising my calf muscles. By the time I'm done my teeth, and again, that's 30 times. Okay, by the time I'm done doing my teeth, I've already finished all my exercise. I've got the bed made. Now I can leave the room. Make sure I'm clear the floor, as in any laundry that happens to be on beside the bed when I go to bed, which is usually where it ends as far as my undergarments go. But my shirt and pants get hung up on the door at night anyway. So get dressed, get the stuff off the floor, get it to the laundry room. Now my day's ready to go. Okay. Now, I've got a list here. And the journey is the first thing. Now I made a commitment to myself to try to do my best to get the journey done by 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, that hasn't worked out as well as I'd like. But then I never claimed to be perfect. As a matter of fact, I claim quite the opposite. And yes, I was smart enough in my eyes. Prepped my coffee last night, so all I did when I got up was push a button and here comes my coffee. This is just a normal routine for me in the morning. It will, hopefully, within the next 3 weeks, because the average time to build a habit is 3 weeks from what I've seen. Average time to break it is about the same. Problem is, it still requires focus. And this is where this task list comes in. Okay. But I get my day started that way, and it opens things up. It gets my life moving. Same applies for you now. Here's where it gets interesting. Okay, once you've done that, now you've got your list going. Check off what you need to if you've already done some of that on your list. And I do recommend to start with that you have that set up, organized on your list from the day before. But the first day, you're not likely to have it that way. Okay, so once you've done that, now it's time to get moving on the rest of your day. At this point, as you can tell, I'm sitting you can't necessarily tell I'm sitting in my office, but what you're seeing is my office. Now, it's not perfect by any stretch, but at least it's heading in the right direction. What, pray tell, is that? Oh, okay. I'm looking at the boxes in the back, and that's a picture, and that's actually a couple of boxes of candy canes back there. But what you find, take a look at your office. Make sure that your office is sorted out because this is where you work on your finances. Okay, and yes, Feng Shui does actually work quite nicely. Problem with Feng Shui is most of the books out there are designed for Eastern philosophy, which, by the way, works really good in the Eastern cultures. But then, from my understanding, they're built on Feng Shui, which means all the books are great, but the principle is still the same. Finding a house, being in a house where the front door is on the north wall and what have you, in Western society is not likely. However, the principle of making sure you've got a place to work on your finances, a place to represent family, a place to get things organized. Okay, you've got a place for your kitchen. You've got a place for everything. Okay, pick everything into its smaller sections, and I will go into this a little further once I get the actual organization laid out that I want, that I desire. I've got my finances organized as far as where I work on them. All my finances are done in the same place. My family pictures are all in one location. Yes, I've got a few scattered around the house, but the majority of them are all in one place. This is a case of getting the energy running in the right direction. Now, right off the bat, I strongly recommend if when you open your door, the main door that you enter your house with, if you've got a mirror or a window or reflective surface that you face when you come through the door, get a decal, get a artificial plants, whatever. But get a decal plants, artificial ones or real ones, and put them in front of the mirror. In the case of decals, okay, when we're talking about decals and artificial plants, put them in the corners because mirrors have a tendency of bouncing the negative energy, bouncing the prosperity back out the door. You don't really desire that, I don't think. I know I'm not impressed. Better yet, make sure you're not looking directly at if you haven't put one there yet and you're planning on putting a mirror for when you get through the door. Make sure it does not face directly at the door. Like when you come into my house, you come through the front door and the first thing you see is a wall. Okay? Because you come in, you walk past the coat closet and you'll hit the wall and the hallway goes both directions. Never put a mirror right on that first wall. Okay, in my recommendation, don't do it. I certainly didn't. Now understand the layout in your home is the same as the layout in your business. And this is why I shouldn't have put that away. This is why I wrote this one, which is another little book, basic tools for running your office. Okay, and it's called Believe in Your Business and Follow Your Dreams. Okay, directly attributed to your to running the office, making sure that it works. Okay, now any of the books that I've written are literally targeted at being short, being quick to read. If you really need to go over them again, they're short enough to do so. Okay, you do that, that will get things moving in the right direction. Now, of course, your business and your home, if you think of it this way, running your home is a business. Now, today's world, okay, today's society, a couple of things we have to realize. Every person in existence, okay, is a first responder, a politician, a bureaucrat, okay, a spiritual guide. You're all the same thing. There is no one that is better than the next. The only thing you are no doubtedly better at than anybody else is being yourself. Now, the journey that we're on right now is a journey to make you the best version that you can make you be. I can't change you. This is clear. Lord knows I spent a lot of years trying to change some people. It doesn't work. Ultimately, I can encourage people to change. Okay, and that has to be done one step at a time. Now, we know society is going down a very dangerous path right now, and it's not showing any signs of lighting up, to speak of. There are people that are changing, and as I said earlier, I am seeing more posts from the general public that are saying, "Hey, here's a person being nice to somebody. Here's somebody helping out an animal. Here's animals helping animals." This is fantastic. Sad to say, the politicians that are running the countries and the military people that are defending the countries the spiritual guides, they're supposed to be guiding people on a more enlightened spiritual path, are teaching fear, segregation, conquest, and abject stupidity in my eyes. Okay. Teachers are teaching what they're told to teach. This does not mean that they're teaching what needs to be taught. Okay. Kids are graduating from school in multiple countries where they are not taught the basics in thinking. Okay, now understand. Remember, I said right at the beginning, you're all teachers. This means if you've got kids or if you've got people that look up to you, it is your task to really point people in the right direction. Okay. If, I looked at one the other day on Facebook, and it's obvious, I've looked at it a number of times and thought it was really neat and what have you, and then just a few days ago, it dawned on me one little detail. This particular post shows a whole pile of scrambled words, and it says the only two letters in any word that are important are the first two, are the first one and the last one. The rest of the word can be absolutely scrambled. And I thought that was an absolutely brilliant thing to put up when I first saw it a few years ago. But just yesterday, I think, might have been the day before, something dawned on me because the claim was there's only a few people out of it, there's only a few, I think they said 50% or something like that. I don't know. But basically, it claimed that if you can read all of that, then you're one of a very special minority. Well, here's the sad reality. That seems to say that if you've got the first letter and the last letter right, okay, then you can read it. The flaw is, now that seems to say spelling isn't really as important as the teachers are making it out to be. But here's the reality behind it, and I want you to think about this. That works great, and it is absolutely correct, because in one sense, that is that the human mind does not think in terms of words. It thinks in terms of pictures. Okay. And I'm looking at this going, there's got to be something I'm missing. And then it dawned on me. Absolutely. If the first and last letter are right, okay, then the rest of them won't matter. Okay, the rest can be in any language or in any order. Problem is, if you don't know how to spell properly to start with, you're not going to be able to read that anyway. Okay, and this is something to keep in mind. There are no shortcuts to success. The formula I found for success was simple. Belief plus concentrated focus equals success. Okay, or belief plus effort equals success. Now, you can get the guidance from anybody you choose, but understand, unless we work together, this world is going to continue going down the path it's going down. Yeah, it does sound like my throat's seizing, doesn't it? One of the reasons I keep coffee handy. And yeah, some people would say you drink way too much. My own nutritionist thought I did until she realized how weak the coffee actually is. I just frankly don't like the taste of water. Okay. And really, if you look at the weakness in the coffee, realistically, it's basically hot water with a itty bitty bit of flavoring in it. But that said, when you take a look at it, okay, you change the energy in your life, and all of a sudden, what'll happen is the people you touch, it will affect them, but you're only changing you. Many people will change their behavior towards you. And when they see how that works, they will also automatically, as a chain reaction, change their behavior towards other people. Net result, we are all looking at the world changing overall. But it gets done one step at a time. Now, I got accused of trying to start a cult, which is really cute. Okay. I was told, it's people like you that are they're telling people, get along, work together. It's people like you trying to start a cult like that are causing the problems of this world. And, it really caught me off guard. And I took it the wrong way. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. And then it dawned on me. If telling people to be nice, if telling people working together, follow the three karmic laws, be true to yourself first, do unto others as you desire them to do unto you, energy out, energy in. If telling you and living by those philosophies is starting a cult, then absolutely, this is one cult I will very happily step to the front of the room with, and I will stand up and say, "Join me on this wonderful cult." I will absolutely tell you that. But here's what I won't do: I will not tell you, "Give me all your money." Okay, I will not tell you that I am the only one with any answers. I will tell you, if you're following somebody that is saying they are the only answer, there may be a problem. Okay. If they're telling you, I'm a spiritual guide and I've come from the past, which I did. Okay. I've got lots of past lives, lots of people do. Okay. But I've been identified by multiple people in multiple situations with no provocation on my own as a specific individual here for a specific reason. Now, I'm not one, I don't carry ammo, I don't carry guns around with me. Okay, I'm not about to tell you, give me all your money because money's evil. No, money is not evil. Money is not the root of all evil. Fear actually is. Fear of loss, fear of lack, fear of not belonging, fear of not being accepted, fear of death. Okay, fear is the root of everything you do because you've only got two emotions to work with. You've got fear, what you're afraid of losing, or oddly enough, what you're afraid of having, as in fear of happiness. Now, we've got this other funny little thing that recently the governments have been incredible at propagating: fear of COVID. Well, COVID is a disease. It doesn't care who you are. It does not have any concern. If you live down where there are fire ants, okay, what many people call army ants. If you live down where army ants are, army ants do not check who you voted for. They don't check whether you're a nice person. They wipe out everything. Diseases, fire, hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, none of them care who you are. You can have your name pasted all over the billboards. You can be an absolutely incredible YouTuber. Okay, you can be a world-renowned researcher, world-renowned scientist. You can be a world-renowned author or artist. It doesn't matter. Disease, natural disasters, they don't care. The temperature doesn't care how old you are. Doesn't care where you live. Well, temperature cares where you live in, man. Well, it doesn't. But the cold will kill everybody, no matter how much money you've got. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, okay, if you get dropped off in the snow on a glacier in regular street clothes, the temperature's not going to care how much money you've got in your bank back home, or whether you're the nicest person on the planet. It's not even going to care if you're the worst person on the planet. It will sap the life out of you. You're all of equal value. And that little sign there that I've got back here that says, I am worth it. I strongly recommend you take that. Make one of your own and put it on your fridge. Okay, it's time to get it straight. Every individual in existence is of the same worth. This is not financially. Okay. Now, the sad reality of it is, like I said, I'm not perfect. But the tools I'm offering are the ones that I personally live by. They are the philosophies that I live with. Okay. Am I encouraging you to follow me on this journey? Absolutely. Do I agree with the concept that the churches came up with? At least I think the churches didn't come up with it. My correction. Correcting myself here. People in the church came up with the idea. And it was really kind of a weird way they did it. Originally, they seem to have come up with the idea of tithing. As in, you give money to the church and that guarantees you a seat in heaven. In all fairness, it doesn't matter how much you owe. Okay, you're all going to the same place anyway. Now, the reason I say that is because I've already been there. I've already been dead enough times to count, and I'm just not looking forward to it again. But the concept that they started with, okay, was the fear of death, the fear of not doing what you're told. But if you tithe to the church 10% of your income, then that's going to ensure you're doing the right thing. Well, no, it doesn't. Okay, it really doesn't. If you'll notice, the world is still a mess. And that's your doing. It's my doing. But I do agree with the tithing concept. So what I've done is this. Now remember that first karmic law. Be true to yourself first. Work out what you require to run your household comfortably. Okay. Figure that out. Then you take that's the first money that comes in. That's where you put it. Okay. But what I'm doing personally is I've calculated things out. I can live comfortably. Not high on the hog, but comfortably for me. So I set an arbitrary number. Arbitrary. I looked at my bills and giving myself room for entertainment. I went, okay, I can work with $2,500 a month. So everything over that number, now that number will be different for everybody. Okay. Everything over that number, starting effective this month, so I can deal with next year even more easily. I'm taking 10% of everything I make over that and putting it aside. Okay. Now, this will accommodate a number of things. That means I will be able to take that 10% and pass it out to everybody. Okay. Pass it out to people. Now, I've decided on my own calculations, because of my own beliefs, I'm going to be next December, I'm going to be taking whatever I've accumulated, okay, over that 2,500 and putting it aside. Okay, I will split that up, and in December I will split that into 12 and hand it out to 12 people. Now, remember that thing about be true to yourself first. One of those 12 will go into my savings for long term. Okay, the other 11 will go to other people. Okay, now this is just my method of doing it. Now, we're getting down to the end here, so if you've got questions, drop me a line. I'd love to hear your comments in the comments below. If you've got questions in any field, absolutely drop me a line. There's a lot of different ways of getting a hold of me, all listed below this video. Drop me a line. I will get back to you as soon as I can. If I miss you, if I miss responding to something you've asked, absolutely drop me another line. I'm not perfect. Now, on that note, I'm going to bring this to a close. I will be back again tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.